Attorneys, just take the case.
Well, welcome to our next episode, Rob. Glad to be back with you. This is Robert Graff, the host of your show. My name is Dr. Mark Kosman, the co-host of your show. What are we talking about? Just take the case. What are you telling your attorney colleagues to do here, Rob?
Basically, rather than worrying about all the inexperience you have and having it limit you in taking what cases you may take, if a potential client comes to you and it's an area of law that you understand, just take the case and figure it out from there.
All right. Well, let's break it down to specifics here. What are we going to try to cover here today?
We're first going to cover that fear is just going to keep you small and keep you shying away from cases that you could take. It's about remembering experience is part of a process and not something that you're going to get right away. And it's knowing the ability to ask for help.
Excellent. All right. Well, let's take that from the top. Fear, one of my favorite subjects. So, yeah, I guess there is a lot of fear walking into a courtroom if you have not got a lot of courtroom experience, because it is kind of a performance, right? That's why they have so many TV shows, because it makes for great drama, but it's dramatic in all the wrong ways if you feel inexperienced, right?
Well, I mean, it happens to all of us. I walked into a courtroom last week that I'd never been in before, and I felt a little bit anxious. I had never been in Chester County before, and I went into the courtroom not knowing, but figured, you know what, they're all the same. Every courtroom's the same. There's a bench, there's attorneys, there's a judge.
Right. Yeah,
so
it is kind of cool that at least while the specifics of the drama vary from case to case, I mean, once you kind of know the overall format, I mean, there is kind of a set play that's going to happen, right?
Exactly. But feeling this fear, feeling any fear that you can't do it because you're too inexperienced or haven't handled this type of case before, or whatever it is only going to keep you from getting that experience that you want to have, that you know that you have the confidence to actually go forward and use your legal knowledge for.
You know, you just sparked a memory for me, Rob. I mean, I was literally just last week watching a TED Talk with Tim Ferriss, who's the author of 4-Hour Workweek, and he was talking about this very topic, and that he's made this a rule for himself now in his life, that if he fears something, then he must do it. You know, and so he breaks down, you know, what it is that the fear is about, where his inexperience is, and then he tries to come up with a system for doing whatever it is that he's afraid of. And he goes through several examples, like swimming, because he had a near drowning experience as a kid. So I recommend the TED Talk, but I really recommend what you're talking about here, which is fear is going to keep you inexperienced, right? Every time we avoid the thing we're afraid of, we are cheating ourselves out of a chance to actually have the experience that's going to make us be confident.
Right, exactly. We're not going to be able to learn without having that experience. So if we're afraid to step our foot into a case, step our foot into a courtroom, then you're going to be left unsatisfied, and you're not going to be happy with yourself. Your client or your potential client's not going to be happy with you. They're not going to recommend you. Build your client base. Be able to build that client base by just saying, you know what, I can do this. I have the confidence to do this. I've seen other people do it. They can do it on TV. I guess I can do it.
That's right. If Perry Mason can do it, I can do it too.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and that's what I love about your second point here, which is about remembering that, you know, it has to be a learning process. There's no experience pill, right? I mean, it'd be great if somebody could bottle courtroom experience into a little capsule, and I take that capsule and then I have that experience. No, you have to be afraid. I mean, fear and anxiety are the normal response to doing something that's unknown or that hasn't been done yet. It's a transitional experience, right?
Right. The first time you gave a public speech anywhere, you're going to be anxious. The next time, it's going to get easier and a little easier and a little easier until you're a pro at it. It didn't start from the beginning. It doesn't work the opposite way. As I've said before.